Welcome everybody to another deck profile. This time, Dark World. I have wanted to play this deck for so long, but I just don't have the extra deck for it. So if you see this deck list, the extra deck is not up to par. It's just a cheap-ish deck list with the staples that I have, which are decent staples. I really like them. Let me just show you the deck list. I became fourth. I went 2-1-1. I drew the first round with another Dark World player because we had a different ban list today. I will just tell you after that. It didn't really matter, but just let me tell you. Game 2, I won against BA, a very good BA player. The third round I won again against Rescue Ace. That guy is a Rescue Ace god, but my monsters don't really do effects on the field, so sad for him. And round 4 I went 0-2 against a Untitled player, draw and Lockbird, and losing the die roll. What do you want to do? Yeah, this one is, bro. So let's get into the deck list, okay? So first off, just the main deck. I've only played through to Grapha. Grapha is a good card, but I don't think you need 3 because it doesn't really do much in your hand. So if you open like 2 or 3, if you're playing 3 and you're open 2, that's very bad. They're easily searchable. They're easily recursionable. Nothing much to say. Next up, we play through to a 3 Rainbow. This card is pretty good. This card searches a lot, or almost everything that you want to search. Except for Snow. Snow is not a better searcher, of course. But if this card is discarded, search a level 5 or higher Dark Monster. That's great. And you can also special summon this card using a level 8 or level 7 or lower. Level 7 or low, yeah. To special summon this from the graveyard and return that card back to the hand. It's crazy. And you can do the same with Grapha, but then just a Dark World monster. So you can bounce something back, summon this one, bounce this card back to discard it for more discards, for discard on the field. Then I played 2 Silva. This card is amazing. It just hand loops your opponent. This card needs to be banned. It's not fun to play against this card. That was my tech talk. If this card is discarded, you can special summon it. And if this card is discarded because of an opponent's card effect, you can summon this card. You can still summon this card, but then your opponent has to throw 2 cards back from their hand to the deck. So that's sad. That's a hand looping effect that nobody likes. Then for the normal summon monsters, you have 3 Genta. This card search a Dark World monster. And when this card is banished while you control a Dark World card on the field, you can special summon this card from your bench. So amazing searcher for the field spell. Nothing much to say anything else. I play 3 Snow. This card searches every Dark World card except herself. What do you want me to say more about her? This card is crazy. 10 out of 10. And if this card is discarded by your opponent's card effect, you can special summon level 4 lower Dark Monster or something like that. I don't care, nobody uses it and you never want to use it. Then we play, how is this called? This is 3 Brow. If this card is discarded, draw 3 cards. If this card is discarded because of an opponent's card effect, draw... what is it? 2 cards instead. Yeah, Brow is a good card. I have this just to have more names, just to have some more draws, some free upstart goblins. I'm not mad about that. Then I play 1 Beige. Beige is very interesting. I really like 1 Beige. If this card is discarded, you can special summon it. So this card is just a Silva 2.0. But this card is also normal summonable. And sometimes you just want to normal summon to bounce something back to have some level 8 monsters on the field. I really like Beige. Then we play 2. Who is this? Is this CERULI? This card is an awful card. This card makes the hand loop playable. If this card is discarded, summon it to your opponent's field and then activate its effect that the opponent has to discard 1 card. And the opponent is then you. So this card makes it you can discard one of your own Dark World monsters so you can have their second effects if you want to. This card can also be hand or bounced back in a lot of Dark World decks that I do not have the cards for. So most of the time you just summon them to your opponent in the extra monster zone column underneath it. Then you can link summon a link monster that bounces this card back to the hand. So that's how you hand loop them for 4 in your turn. Then I play 2 ZALAMANDER, a CATALYZER. This card can show 1 fiend monster and itself, and then you can discard one of them and then summon the other. So most of the time you just summon this one to discard a Dark World monster to activate the Dark World monster's effect. I really like this card at 2. You can also play it at 1, but I want to see it a bit more, and I never really brick on it. It's just a free body on the field. It just makes your Dark World monsters live. There's anything you can ask for. And when a fiend monster destroys a monster by battle, you can add this card back to your hand. That is a nice one. Then we played some danger cards. I played 2 Danger Bigfoots. This card can make it so other cards are discarded, so they get into recursion, and you can summon, draw. Nothing much else is to say. It's a cool card. Then we play 2 Danger Nessie. I only play 2 because of the fact that I only have 2, but I will never add an extra Nessie. I don't think it's that good to have 2 Nessies in hand, but there is not really a downside to having 2 Nessies in hand, so why not? Then we played 2 Mothman. This was very funny in the first game. My opponent was like, oh, I have Mothman. You also play Dark World, right? Because I just showed my cards, that I also played Dark World because it was really funny. And he was like, huh, Mothman is not that great, but just let's use Mothman. Mothman says that it does the same as every other danger. By the way, Nessie, if it's discarded, can search another danger monster from deck. And if this is discarded, you can both players draw a card and then discard a card. That's why you don't really want your opponent to play Dark World. For last, I played 1 Danger Chupacabra. I only have 1, but I think 1 is fair enough. It does the same thing as the other dangers, but this card can also special summon a danger if it's discarded. Then for the spell cards, we play 3 the Gates of the Dark World. The Gates of the Dark World is just a strong field spell. It makes it you can banish a fiend card from the graveyard, discard a fiend card, and then draw a card. It's just an extra discard, it's an extra draw. A lot of people play this at 2, but I really like it at 3. I like it to see it in my opening hand, with some extra cards, of course. There's nothing much to say. I think this card is really very cool, very good. I play 2 fusion spells. A lot of people play 1, because my opponent only played 1 of this card. But yeah, I really like it at 2. I want to see it as much as possible. Maybe I want to play that 3, but I think 2 is just the best number you can have. You can fusion summon a fusion monster from your extra deck, discarding cards in your hand, or banishing from your field and or graveyard. Then if it's in the graveyard, you can add this card back to, and then you have to discard a card for effect. So this also makes, if it's in the graveyard, your other Dark World monsters. Then for the one off is Dark World Archive. I really like this card. I don't want this card. A lot of people hate this card, and I love it. It's a free. It can discard 2 times. It's, oh my god, I love it. Yeah, you can read what the card does. If a card is discarded by a Dark World effect, discard another card and then draw 2. So it can push for a lot. I played it at 3 for a time, but damn, I never won. Seeing more of it is just a dead end. But seeing 1 of it in your hand, sheesh, it's amazing. Keep in mind that you cannot use the effect for the free discard if you have no Dark World monster on the field. So my opponent almost wanted to do that, but I stopped. Then I played 3 Dark World D-Links, and this card is just a free discard and a free draw. It's a pretty hard. Kom maar. Ik weet het. It's a It's just a free draw, free discard. There is nothing much you can say. It's not the best card, definitely not against Draw and Lockbird, but it's something, I guess, you know. Yeah, it's not the best. It's just something, right? And it makes you discard a card that you want instead of the danger art that are random. Yeah, I still like it. I played 2. Drag Down the Grave. This card can, if you open it, you can use it and then look at your opponent's hand and then discard their draw. But you just review both players review their hand, and then one player discards a card and the other player also discards a card of their opponent's choice, and then they both draw cards. It's an interesting card. This plays around Draw and Lockbird, but I didn't find it. But only one person played Draw, so yeah, there's nothing much to say. Then for the last card, the 14th card is Card of Destruction. I saw this card 2 times against the Rescue Ace player, and oh my god, no Ash is full combo. This card is amazing. Please, MBT, bring it back to 3. I saw MBT's video, and this card is amazing at 3. Even though if you just open, like, let's say Snow, 3 of this, and just not a Dark World monster, say for Brow, the one that draws an extra card. It's just draw 4 and then search 1, draw 1. Well, like, oh my god, this card is amazing. This card is really good. And then for the last card. Okay, so we had like I said, we had a different ban list, like I told you before. And every Sunday our locals has riddles, and those riddles are banned cards. That means that Sunday we can play some banned cards. This time I didn't know actually because I wasn't looking. The cards you could play was 2 Grass Looks Greener in your deck, 1 Confiscation. You could have played 1 card of Demise or card of Return, card of Save Return, sorry. And the last card was, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know how it's called again, but that card that can special summon cards from 1500 is also a spell card. It's a spell card. I don't know what it meant, but it's banned. And so at this locals, I played card of Save Return. You could choose. I think the best card was actually to choose Confiscation, just for some draw cards. This card was not useful in this deck, so don't think, oh my god, this deck list is ruined because it's a banned card. This whole list is like 40 cards, and so this is a 41st card, and it is always the card that you played. It's just a blank piece of paper, by the way, so it's nothing special. But that's just how our locals did it. But to have been played with this card was very funny because my opponent of the first round also played this card, and he decked himself out because of it. Oh my god, this is very, very fun. So this was the main deck. So card of Save Return is a banned card. So let's get into so that card is not needed. So let's get into the extra deck. I played actually 3 Grapha Dragon Overlord of Dark World. Actually, this card, let me just look if I can. This card at 3, all of you played at 2, which is perfectly fine, let me tell you. But this card at like, this card at like 3 won me the game against the Rescue Ace player because I just played through every one of them. The third one wasn't needed, but it was very, very safe. Then for the Link monsters, we have 1 Witch Apprentice. This card is just a Link monster because I didn't have any other Link monsters, but it's still a good one because it's just 2 generic dark monsters. So you can just send the Grapha and the Dragon or the Rainbow to the graveyard to resummon them again. I like this card. I think I want to play more with this card. Then we played 1 IP Masquerena. It's just also free, just random 2 monsters. This card also won me the game because I made a lot of the time the Underworld Goddess. So you can see that I will show it on later on screen too. This card is very strong, very good. I like it a lot. 1 Cross Sheep. This card makes it so that I can bounce back the CERULI. Because if this card is if you made this card and then you fusion summon a card that it points to, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower monsters from your graveyard. So you can summon back the CERULI and then bounce it back with one of your bounce back monsters. So you have it in your hand again, so you can hand loop again. I never did it, but this is also a way to do it. And it's just 2 effect monsters, so you can throw the Grapha and the Rainbow in your graveyard to make this card to summon them again back. Knightmare Unicorn, just pop back row. I should have used this sooner, because my second opponent that played BA made on the game 2 a... how is it called again? That card that I have to set spell cards first before I use them. Spell Fragrance. And I should have popped this so I could play my turn, but for some reason I didn't do it, and I just made IP and then into Knightmare Unicorn to get rid of it. But hey, it is what it is. But then our next link monster is Knightmare Unicorn. This card is cool. It's just an extra interruption if made with IP Masquerena. I like this card. I really like this card. We played 1 SARYUJA, baby. Draw 4, turn back 3. I did not make this card, but this card is so amazing. Nothing much to say. If you use it for monsters, you can draw just 4 cards. And then return 3. 1 Appaloosa. This card also made my day. My opponents most of the time just got rid of this card with Lava Golem. But it's still an amazing card. Against my Rescue Ace opponent, I negated 3 of his effects, still had 1 effect. Then I went IP into Underworld Goddess. Amazing, good card. And then as last, the boss monster of this deck, Underworld Goddess. This card is crazy! Like, oh my god. Just use your opponent's monster on their turn with IP Masquerena, indestructible by card effects. And every monster negation on the field, or every monster on your opponent's side of the field is negated, and then you can negate a special summon from the graveyard. This card is insane! Nothing much to say. Good card. Then for the Xyz monsters, there are only 2 good Xyz monsters, but I just had something extra. Abyss Dweller. This card is crazy, is toxic. Yeah. Nothing much to say. Abyss Dweller is just a good card. This card is not used, but Castel, the Skyblaster Musketeer, is a card that I could play. Don't play it. Play Coach King. Coach King! I could have made Coach King so many times to just draw 3 more times. Coach King is way better, but expensive. And I don't have the money for Coach King. But this card is still a good card. And this card is number 70, Malevolent Sin. It's just a banish for your opponent if they have a monster you can't really get rid of because they have a high attack. You can just use this card, banish it, and then hopefully go for a game. That's it. There's nothing much else to say. This card should be Coach King, and this card should be the vampire that just bounce something back. Just so you know. And then as last but not least, it's number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy. It's just 2 level 8 monsters to have a spell negation. There's nothing much to say in this deck at least. This is all that it does. It's just spawn trap negation. So no evenly matched, even though evenly matched is very hard for your opponent to play because of the fact that you have CERULI on their side of the field. So it's not something to be worried about, at least. But this was the audio. I have some more side deck. I forgot about the side deck. Oh my god. The side deck, of course, it depends on your locals, but let's just show my side deck. I played 3 Ash. I don't know where my 3rd Ash is. Just somewhere, I guess. Here it is. Played 3 Ash Blossoms. Branded is a very high played deck in my locals. Nothing much to say. It's just Ash. Nibiru is a strong card. I don't think I really could use Nibiru. I've never used Nibiru. Well, yes, I did use it against my Dark World opponent. Yeah, it is something, I guess. 3 Lava Golems, because it's a fiend, so you can banish it, you can discard it if needed, and it just gets rid of your, if going second, it's still a strong card. And you don't need your normal summons at all. I also played 3 Sphere Mode. Sphere Mode is a good card. Same thing as Lava Golem. It was very strong. But sadly, my opponent just OTK'd me after that because I didn't draw anything. It is what it is. This card should be better. How is it called again? To not get locked around. How is it called? The John Luckbird. You can better play the Psy-Frame Gear Gamma. That card is way better than this card. And then as last, I played 3 evenly matched. Nothing much to say. It's evenly matched. We are all evenly matched. So you can play one less evenly matched to just play the driver, right? Because you really want to see driver against people that play drawn. So this was the deck. There's nothing much to say. I went forth. I had a lot of fun. My opponents also had a lot of fun. We just joked around and had an amazing time. Keep in mind, you don't need this card. This was the 41 card in the deck because you had to play over 40. So that card, even though it's banned, don't use it. It was not that great, okay? Next time, use something else. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like the video. Maybe comment down below. Tell me what you think of the deck list. What you would have changed, except for the side deck, because the side deck I personally also want to change. Maybe just one less of this for the new fusion monster, because discarding is very good in this deck. The side deck is just a side deck. Maybe you have something else. And if you have something else for the main deck, just comment down below. I think it's good. I don't dislike it. But maybe you have something better. So please leave a comment if you have anything better. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Mr. Beast! Mr. Beast!